This is your USMNT Abroad weekend update from October 29th to October 31st of 2021. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo and welcome to Tactical Marine TV and happy late Halloween. Now this is our USMNT Abroad series, a channel favorite where every Monday we update you on how the Yanks did abroad on the weekend, and then every Friday we update you on how the Yanks did abroad midweek. With that said, it was a pretty good weekend for the Americans playing in the Serie A, so I thought I would dress for the occasion instead of wearing my regular US men's national team jerseys. Now look, if you enjoy this type of content, remember, don't forget to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to do all that blah blah blah, you know, the things for the YouTube algorithm, right? I don't even know how that works. And I got a great announcement. The Jonathan Gomez interview has been authorized and it will be released tomorrow, this Tuesday, or if you're watching this on Tuesday, today on Tuesday, the Jonathan Gomez interview will be out, the American-Mexican dual national here at the channel. All right, let's go to the updates. Okay, so Christian Pulisic from Chelsea will be the first player. And we have good news. Pulisic was not available to play against Newcastle this weekend for Chelsea. He's also confirmed to be out this Tuesday as Chelsea faces Malmo for the Champions League. However, the good news is Thomas Tuchel has said that he expects Pulisic to be back in action this upcoming Saturday, November 6th, as Chelsea goes on to face Burnley. Now, here's my question. The US men's national team roster comes out this week, so before Pulisic gets any minutes, he's going to play on Saturday. He's clearly healthy, but not 100%. If you were the coach, would you call him in to the November camp? Let me know. Personally, I would bring him in. Even if he's going to come off the bench, I would bring him in. Okay, quick update that just came out this morning. Christian Pulisic will actually be with Chelsea for their Champions League game this Tuesday. Due to a few injuries that Chelsea's dealing with, Lukaku, Mason Mount, Timo Werner, Thomas Tuchel decided to take Christian Pulisic to play against Malmo this Tuesday. Now he'll probably be on the bench. We don't know if he'll see minutes, but Pulisic is available and set to return. So now let's keep going with the updates, and I'm going to go with Weston Mckennie from Juventus. On Saturday, Weston started off the bench for Juve during their 2-1 loss to Verona in the Serie A. Weston came into the game at the 57th minute while Verona already had a 2-0 lead. At the 80th minute, Weston Mckennie scored a nice goal off open play while getting a nice touch in the box and with a very, very nice finish. Weston has now scored Juve's 2 goals in the last 2 matches. One thing to say was Allegri called Weston Mckennie a mezzala, which goes back to what I said about positions and roles at last week's episode, right? He's a central midfielder playing the mezzala role. Essentially, a mezzala is a more attacking box-to-box midfielder, also a central midfielder that drifts wide. Essentially, sometimes we even call it a half winger. He honestly looked more just like a box-to-box midfielder in a more advanced role, but, you know, if Allegri said he's a mezzala it is. Okay, Gio Reyna, no updates right there, still recovering from the hamstring injury, and there's no time or date for him to be back. So let's talk about Dest and Matt Miazga, because they technically played against each other, or not really. Let's talk about it. On Saturday, Dest started and played a full 90 minutes for Barcelona during their 1-1 draw with Deportivo Alaves, while Matt Miazga stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes. Which last Tuesday, when he stayed on the bench, I personally thought it was all because of rotation. But after seeing Deportivo Alaves putting him on the bench for the second consecutive game and starting the same center backs, I actually think Miazga is just benched at this point. Barcelona still without a manager for now, but still starting Serginho Dest as a right winger. And yes, later in the game he did go as a right back, but he did play most of the game as a winger. Overall, it was a good game by Dest. Could have done a better job in regards to crossing. He did not miss a big opportunity in this match, which is a plus, I guess. He was missing quite a few in the past few games playing as a winger. Now, he did have a 92% passing accuracy, which is impressive. 2 out of 3 successful dribbling attempts. Won 7 out of 10 ground duels, which is pretty good. And won 2 out of 2 aerial duels for this match. So pretty good stats as well, along with a good performance by Serginho Dest. Now, Tyler Adams, Jesse Marsch, and Timothy Chandler. On Saturday, Tyler Adams stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes for Leipzig during their 1-1 draw with Eintracht Frankfurt. With mentioning as well Timothy Chandler, as I said, he also stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes, but for Frankfurt. Alright, now we're moving forward in the video, and we're going to go by position. Starting with the goalkeeper, Zach Steffen didn't play this weekend, stayed on the bench for Manchester City, and the same goes for Ethan Horvath, that continues to get no minutes for Nottingham Forest, sitting on a bench every single game almost of the championship. He played, I believe, 1 all season. With that said, don't forget one thing, the US men's national team roster will be out this week, and we will be doing a live stream breaking down the roster and updating you on all of it, along with the interview with Jonathan Gomez, and we might have the interview with Chris Richards here in the channel this week as well. If not, over the weekend. It's scheduled, it should happen, it's going to be great. Now, let's go to the center backs. All right, John Brooks from Wolfsburg, which, as we stated last week, they did fire their previous coach, Mark Van Bommel, and now they're under a new manager, Florian Kofeld, the former manager of Josh Sargent at Werder Bremen. On Saturday, Brooks started, played a full 90 minutes, got a yellow card during Wolfsburg's 2-0 win over Leverkusen. Maybe replacing Van Bommel was the right decision, as they were able to win after 8 matches without getting a win. Last time they got a win was against Firth back at September 11th, which, to be fair, every single team in the league is beating Firth. So maybe now with a better manager, maybe he's a better manager, we're about to find out, Wolfsburg might see some improvements, which is good for John Brooks. Hopefully he picks up the good form he had last season and earlier this season. Now the man that might be in the channel this week, Chris Richards from Hoffenheim. On Friday, Richards started off on the bench and came in at the 84th minute for Hoffenheim to help them hold a 2-0 victory over Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga. Now, a quick update on Eric Palmer-Brown. Didn't play again for Troy at Ligue 1, continues to get no minutes. Not a good season, just to oversimplify the situation with Eric Palmer-Brown currently at the French league. Now, Mark McKenzie from Genk. Well, he was on the bench the full 90 minutes again and didn't play this weekend. Can we talk about how the best center back, or one of the best center backs in MLS back in 2020, is struggling to get minutes in what I would call a not so elite European league? Can we talk about that? Now, Cameron Carter-Vickers from Celtic. On Saturday, CCV started and played a full 90 minutes for Celtic during their 0-0 home draw against Livingston at the Scottish Premiership. All right, moving to the sides of the field, not forward. Let's go to the fullbacks, and let's start with the two Fulham boys, which one is a center back, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson. On Saturday, Ream and Robinson started and played a full 90 minutes for Fulham during their 3-0 win over West Brom in the English Championship. Fulham currently sits in second place, 4 points ahead of third place West Brom. A return to the Premier League is looking very promising. Honestly, a season in the Championship has done wonders to Robinson. He's looking good, improving. We saw it in the last US men's national team camp. But I really hope to see him next year in the Premier League, and we'll see all this evolution as a player, especially defensively. He improved a lot defensively. Now, Reggie Cannon from Boa Vista. On Saturday, Cannon started and played just 17 minutes for Boa Vista during their clash with Porto. Unfortunately, he left the game with an injury. There are no updates in regards to the injury at the time of this recording, but we'll keep you posted and probably update you on Reggie Cannon's situation on Friday's episode. This has been a very, very rough season for Reggie Cannon so far, to say the least. Now, Sam Vines from Antwerp in the Belgium League. On Sunday, Vines started and played a full 90 minutes for Antwerp during their 1-0 victory against Cercle Bruges. He also got a yellow card for this match. I have a feeling that we will see Sam Vines in the November roster. Not that I'm a big fan of that, I just think it's something Greg will do. He really likes Sam Vines and he's been playing, so I think we're going to see Sam Vines back with the US men's national team after the broken collarbone. Now, Joe Scali from Borussia Mönchengladbach. On Sunday, Scali started, this time as a right back for Gladbach during their 2-1 win over Bochum. Scali got a nice assist on a beautifully placed cross by him at the 12-minute mark of the game. He might not be the most agile player as well, but he sure is fast. And we saw this in the game as well, as he was the fastest Borussia Mönchengladbach player in the field. Also, he might not be as technical as a Serginho Dest per se in tight spaces, but he's technical enough and very solid in the defense. He won 6 out of 10 ground duels, 2 out of 3 aerial duels, had 84 touches, 2 key passes, and a low 66% passing accuracy, along with 1 big chance created. Now, he did lose the ball a lot, because losing the ball 27 times and only 84 touches is pretty high. Now, the US men's national team roster, as I said, is set to be released this week. I really hope that Greg Berhalter brings in Joe Scali. It's past time that he should be including him, and I think there's no more excuses left. Now, DeAndre Yedlin from Galatasaray. On Sunday, Yedlin started and played a full 90 minutes for Galatasaray during their 2-0 victory over Gaziantep. Okay, now the midfielders. Let's start with Yunus Musah from Valencia. On Saturday, Yunus Musah stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes during Valencia's 2-0 victory over Villarreal. Minutes have been declining for Yunus Musah lately. The last 4 games, he only played 45 minutes total. Now, Chris Durkin from STVV. On Saturday, Durkin started and played 68 minutes for STV during their 2-1 loss to Club Brugge. Now, let's go to Johnny Cardoso from Internacional in Brazil. On Sunday, Johnny started and played a full 90 minutes for Internacional during their 1-0 loss to São Paulo in the Brasileirão. And yes, Rodrigo Dourado was not available, so that helped in the minutes. Regardless, Johnny's minutes are up and away recently, which is great, as the Brazilian season is close to ending in roughly a month, and he's picking up good momentum going into the 2022 season. And yeah, in Brazil, it's very hard to break into first team squads when you're 19 or 20. So what Johnny Cardoso is doing is very good. Let's continue to keep an eye on him. He's still one of our great prospects. Now the Venezia boys, Gianluca Busio and Tanner Tessman. On Sunday, Tanner Tessman and Gianluca Busio started for Venezia during their 0-0 draw with Genoa in the Serie A. Tessman and Gianluca Busio went the full 90 minutes for this match. Now, Tanner Tessman was playing as a 6 and Busio was playing as an 8 on a 4-3-3 formation to start the game. Busio was drifting wide as an 8, also trying to create more in a more offensive role. So essentially, he was a mezzala. So 8 was his position, mezzala was his role. Now, Busio did have a great chance to score in the first half in the box, wide open, but he missed the target. It was off a poor clearance from the Genoa defense off a corner. Tanner Tessman also had a great opportunity to score in the second half while the ball was ping-ponging inside the box, but he hit it over the crossbar. And to be fair, that shot from Tanner Tessman wasn't as easy as it looked. The angle and the press from the players was not really helping him how it should. And honestly, why would it, right? They're always going to try to make it more difficult for you to scoring. So what am I saying? Busio had an overall good game in my personal opinion. Now, Tanner Tessman, some people try to say he was bad. I actually thought he was okay. You see, the 6th position is not a flashy position. Plus, Tanner Tessman is not a flashy player himself. I think he played his role just fine. There were good moments, there were bad moments, but I thought he did okay. Plus, he's a little rusty. He hasn't been getting many minutes this season. If he gets more minutes, I think he'll continue to improve a lot. I want to see Tanner Tessman play more, and I think he can be maybe the backup 6 for us in the future. Now, one thing to say that's very important, this is the first time in history that we had 2 Americans starting in the same Serie A match. To me, this is big. This shows the evolution of U.S. soccer, and both did just fine. Now, Alan Sonora, the Argentine America from Independiente at Argentina. On Sunday, Alan started and played 67 minutes for Independiente during their 1-0 loss to New Old Boys. You know, the club that Messi is a fan of. Now, Christian Capis from Bromby, that he's still under the tactical effect from having the interview here in the channel. If you don't know, the tactical effect is that every time a player comes here to the channel and has the interview, he scores and gets in good form. On Sunday, Capis started off on the bench and would come in at the 76th minute and score at the 86th minute for Bromby, the game-winning goal at their 1-0 victory over Viborg. It was also a pretty nice hit inside the box without even taking an extra touch. Before you say something about the word slut, it is pronounced slut, and it means end in Danish. I might know more languages than Lukaku. Actually, no, I just used Google Translate to find out because I thought that word was kind of funny. That was actually from their official Twitter account. When I saw it, I said, I gotta use this for the video. Now, Brenden Aaronson from Rb Salzburg. On Saturday, Brenden Aaronson started and played a full 90 minutes for Rb Salzburg during their 2-2 draw with Ried. It was an exciting last 10 minutes of the game where 3 out of the 4 goals happened. Brenden had an assist for Salzburg's first goal and did fine despite the disappointing result. Now, Alex Mendes, that plays in the Portuguese league. On Sunday, Mendes started and played a full 90 minutes for Vizela during their 1-1 draw with Famalicão at Liga NOS. Now, Ian Harkes from Dundee United, which, by the way, I'm thinking about doing at the end of the year, a USMNT season year rewards Dundee's edition. If you're the Office fan, you'll probably enjoy it, so comment down below if you want us to do that. But let's talk about Ian Harkes from Dundee United. On Saturday, Harkes started and played a full 90 minutes for Dundee United during their 1-0 loss to St Johnstone for the Scottish Premiership. Now, Julian Green and Tim Tillman from Firth in the Bundesliga. On Saturday, Green started and played 76 minutes as he was replaced by the other American, Tim Tillman, during Firth's 3-1 loss to a very good Freiburg team. And a very bad Firth team. Look, this team just doesn't look like a Bundesliga team, not gonna lie. Now, Luca de la Torre from Heracles. Now, this was an interesting one, as Luca de la Torre went the full 90 minutes for Heracles during their 0-0 draw with an in-form Ajax. Ajax had just come from a 5-0 win against their rivals PSV, and before that they defeated Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in the Champions League. So, a 0-0 draw was a pretty good result. He had a good performance, mostly defensive, as Ajax did control most of the possession and the match despite not scoring. In this game, he proved to us that he can progress the ball forward, can play in a low block, and connect well with counters. Now, he also did almost score off a nice lefty shot. Luca Del Torre played on a dual 6 midfield on a 4-2-3-1 formation. He won 4 out of 5 ground duels, 2 out of 2 aerial duels, 76% passing accuracy, and he only had 38 touches in his match, which is way below his average, which is normally 64 touches per game, mostly due to Ajax just controlling the game overall. So Luca Del Torre has to be in the November camp as well and get minutes. Now Dwayne Holmes from Huddersfield. On Saturday, Holmes started and played 78 minutes for Huddersfield during their 1-0 victory over Millwall in the English Championship. Okay, we're moving to the forwards in the video. If you haven't already, I'm going to remind you again, hit that like button. Let's start with Timothy Weah from Lille. On Friday, Weah came off the bench for Lille at the final 11 minutes during their 2-1 loss to PSG at Ligue 1. So limited minutes and not much to talk about here. Okay, next player, Conrad de la Fuente, Conradinho from Olympique Marseille at Ligue 1 as well. On Sunday, Conrad started and played 57 minutes for Marseille during their 1-0 win over Clermont Foot. Now, I did not think Conrad played well for this match. He still looked good getting out of tight spaces, but was poor a few times in the final decision. What do I mean by final decision? I mean at the moment to either score or assist another player. You know, right? Defining the play, essentially. Early in the second half, we saw that clearly as Conrad had a good chance, but as you can see if you look at the play again, his hesitation was what led him to miss out on that goal. He didn't know, do I pick up the pace and beat the defender and get a clean shot? Do I slow down and try to cut the defender for a clean finish? Well, that lack of decision got his shot blocked and he missed a pretty good opportunity, and there was a reason why he was subbed off early in this match. Now look, the talent is also still there. The decision making will improve as he plays. I still think he's one of the highest ceiling players we have in my personal opinion, and one of the best dribblers, if not the best dribbler alongside Christian Pulisic, and should be in our November roster. So what I'm saying is, I'm judging this performance. I'm not judging his talent or his potential. I'm still very high on Conrad de la Fuente. Okay, now Mathew Hoppe from Mallorca. On Sunday, Mathew Hoppe was on the bench again. No minutes, didn't play. Also, he is not injured. So this season, in 9 matches, he played a total of 89 minutes. Very disappointing, and it's all a coaching decision. I hope it changes. We really need Mathew Hoppe to start getting minutes for Mallorca. I am very disappointed with everything that's happening with Mathew. Now, Christian Ramirez. And yeah, some of you requested. There you have it. On Sunday, Christian Ramirez started and played a full 90 minutes for Aberdeen during their 2-1 victory over Hearts in the Scottish Premiership. See, we do the request and I do read the comment section, so make sure to drop your comments down below. Me and Dustin do read them, we just can't respond to all of them. Now, Nicolas Giocchini from Montpellier. On Sunday, Giocchini started off on the bench for Montpellier during their 2-0 victory over Nantes. Giocchini came into the game at the 79th minute. Now, Josh Sargent from Norwich, the center forward that can't score. I still can't believe it. I wish Sargent was picking up good form, but it just seems to never happen. On Sunday, Sargent started and played 77 minutes for Norwich during their 2-1 loss to Leeds United. In 515 EPL minutes, Sargent has had 7 shots and none of them were on target. I guess that miss against Brighton, you could say he hit the target and it was just too weak, but let's just forget that shot. Now, Pifak, which was before known as Siabachu. On Sunday, Pifak started and played a full 90 minutes for BSC Young Boys during their 3-1 loss to St. Gallen. Now, Ulysses LLanez from Polten in the Austrian 2nd Division. On Sunday, Ulysses started and played a full 90 minutes for Polten during their 1-1 draw with Austria Lustenau. Unfortunately, LLanez was able to earn a penalty kick, which I guess that's fortunately in the first half, but he took the PK and he missed it. Last but not least, because Haji Wright and Emmanuel Sabi did not play this weekend, they played today on Monday when the episode is uploaded, let's talk about Tyler Boyd. On Friday, Boyd came off the bench at the 66th minute for Rizespor during their 2-1 loss to Trabzonspor. Rizespor is currently in last place in the Turkish league, and they're probably going to get relegated. Alright everyone, this does it for the US Men's National Team Abroad weekend recap. Don't forget that we will be doing an episode on Friday updating you on all the Champions League and Europa League performances. Along with that, we're going to have the Jonathan Gomez interview tomorrow at the channel this Tuesday, or if you're watching it on Tuesday, today. And hopefully, eventually this week, we will have the Chris Richards interview out as well. With that said, don't forget that the U.S. Men's National Team roster will also drop this week, and we'll be doing a live stream for it. I want to thank you all for watching, and have a... Wait, what? Hold on. There's someone that wants to talk to everyone. Hi, Pedro Parker here. I just wanted to say happy Halloween, and thank you for supporting the channel and Mr. Tactical. I'll make sure to show up in the channel more often. He kind of kicked me out for a little bit after that transfer request last season that I put to 11 Yanks. But you know what? Thank you for watching, and have a great day.